Sculpture is moving in a very different direction. So now he's no longer human and he is taking a form of mythology. I wasn't thinking of doing that when I started the sculpture, but it kind of just took form, and I think the head itself made me want to do this. But I wanted to show you this. This is Modeling and Sculpting Animals by Edward Lanteri. This is a really good book, and he also has several books on the human form, and essentially that is the book that I really recommend for artists if you're doing portraits, sculptures of figures, because everything about them is very traditional sort of sculpting. This one is particularly good. There's a lot of theory behind this as well, but a lot of this shows you how to build an armature for a sculpture, for example, for an animal, a four-legged animal like a horse. There's also anatomy and how it relates to the human form. You'd be surprised because the animals have the same muscles that humans have. They're called the same. So if you know about the serratus muscle, you can find it on a horse, for example, or a dog. And it's really just a way of talking to various people, and if you point out like, oh, that's the latissimus dorsi, you know exactly where to go for the animal. So it's really important to understand anatomy. But he goes over with doing sculptures and then adding the muscles on top, and also how to grid up a sculpture. And there's a sculpture of a cow, for example, very important to do in the 19th century when Edward Lanteri was teaching. So there's also a section on here on plaster casts and making molds.